Hello and welcome to Origin Problem Solving. In my last video, I told you that I was going to go in depth in each one of the steps of problem solving and further explain how we go about completing each step. In this first video, we're going to go over step 0, which is preparation. The first thing I like to do in preparation is set up a to-do, doing, and done section. This helps us keep track on what we have upcoming, what we have in the pipeline, and what we have completed. And in the to-do section, this isn't all-inclusive. So cater this to whatever your problem-solving event, whatever your environment is. If you need to add some or remove some of this, do that. This is just setting yourself up for success when you do have your problem-solving event. These are the standard ones I like to do. First is identify your project lead, because they're the ones going to take ownership of this. It could be yourself. You could be the lead of it and the facilitator. But if you're just simply facilitating, you want to establish who that lead is. And then from there, you're going to identify a team. You're going to want to prepare your A3 so it's set up and ready to go. If it's going to be a whiteboard and you don't need to prepare, then we can take this one off. If it's a document or you're doing this virtual like I'm showing here, you want to set this file up and have it ready to go. Another thing you want to do with your project lead or as a project lead is gather together any SIPOC, value stream maps, process maps that are going to be used in this process. And if you don't have those yet, you may want to do those and get a backbone together of possibly a SIPOC, because that's going to help you define your scope. The next thing you're going to do as you're going through this, you're going to be walking through with that project lead the first 3 steps. We're going to have a general perception. We're going to have a general idea of what our problem definition is going to be, and then we'll break down that problem. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to find the data that we're going to need for this problem-solving event. And then we're going to use that data to break that stuff down. Now, we're doing this in a little bit of a vacuum at first. So when we go to our problem-solving event, you're going to include the whole team together. And once you have that backbone, it's easier for them to say, oh, what about this or what about that, as opposed to everyone trying to do it at once. So again, we're going to have the data there. It's going to be the right data that we need, or the all-inclusive data we need. So we're going to have that backbone ready. So we don't have to pause our problem solving because we don't have data, or we have to go find out this information. When we break down the problem, we might select a target. Now, when you get in there and they might have a better idea of how they want to break down the problem, that's fine. But we have the data and we have all the information we need to continue to move on at that point. The next thing we want to do is determine availability and event timeline. So once you have basically the first 3 steps backbone done, you have all the data, you have your team together and stuff like that, you're going to want to set up your event timeline and ensure you have availability for everybody. I'll make another video on what my event timeline would look like for a Kaizen event. Normally it's a 5-day thing, but we go from initial, step 1, and we rock all the way through to implementation and measuring our effect on gap all in that 1 week. But I'll have a outline of how I do that later. So I want to talk a little bit about identifying your team. You have your owner, we established that. You have your team, which those are people that are experiencing the problems. You don't have to have everybody that experiences the problems, but you need a good representation, because those are the ones that need to be there in order to solve the problem. The next thing we'll have a lot of times is a sponsor. Sponsors are basically saying, you're setting up a contract with them, and we can go over a charter later, but you're setting up a contract with them that says this is what we want to provide, or this is what our product wants to be, or what we want to accomplish. And the sponsor is saying, yes, I'm allowing you to use resources in order to go forward with this project. The champion is the in-between. So it's the someone that's in between the sponsor and the team lead. The champion is going to be important when you're trying to implement your solutions. So say you run into roadblocks and issues implementing your countermeasures, then you can go to the champion, and the champion will help push those objectives through. And I can give a little more outline. It's about 20%, you're going to have with a champion involved. They don't have to be at the Kaizen event for its entirety. You're going to want to have them maybe in the initial day, and then in the report out with the sponsor, probably 10% or less. You're going to get the charter done with them, and then you're going to report out to them. That's about typical. With the owner and the facilitator, 100% of the time is dedication, and with the team, 80 to 90% of their time is dedicated to the Kaizen event. The only other thing I do in preparation is I will train everyone up. So if we have an event, problem-solving event, and I want to kind of bring everyone up to the same level and set that expectation of what we're going to do. So I will train during the first hour or two of our Kaizen event or our problem-solving event. I'm going to train everyone up on the 8 steps of problem solving. One, so that they know what to expect as we move forward. But 2 is we're always trying to level everyone up on lean, or get some people to get a little more deeper into that onion and lean. That's it for preparation. Couple of things I'll owe you on preparation is a Kaizen event for that week. I'll probably combine our next video. We'll go to perception and define our problem. And then from there, we'll go into break down your problem, which will probably be a separate video. So look forward to those. Like and subscribe on my channel. And we will get more videos to you as soon as possible. Thank you, everybody.